Most traders would see this breakout and enter immediately, but the clearer opportunity appears in what happens next. I'm watching EUR USD and I'm waiting for a specific 3-bar reversal pattern at a clean zone. The 3-bar reversal is one of the simplest ways to confirm a break and retest, and when you recognize it, trading becomes much easier. So here we are on the 1-hour time frame for EUR USD. One of the first things that I do before I mark up the chart is take a look at the higher time frames. We want to make sure that we have a higher time frame analysis. And so we can see that generally, in terms of weekly price action, it looks like price is making higher highs and higher lows, generally. And the same is true for the daily. We can see we're making higher highs and higher lows, and also on the 4-hour. You can see that we've made a higher high, and we have a higher low here. All right, and so when we take a look at the 1-hour, we want to keep that in mind. So this helps us to know that when we take a look at the 1-hour time frame or the 15-minute, that if we are to take a trade to the downside, that we aren't going to stay in it for a very long time. It's generally going to be a scalp. Now that we're down to the 1-hour time frame, we'll take a look at the most recent price action. We'll start to mark out our levels of support and resistance, and we can see a strong level of resistance right in here, and because we've got all these touches here, so we'll go ahead and mark that. And so this would be a level of resistance, because resistance is like the ceiling. Remember, this is where prices come up and touch the ceiling all these times. All right, and we've also got a level of support, like right around in here. So we can mark this zone as support. We see this is an area where price has touched the floor here, 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 and here. All right, and so we can think of this, we've got resistance and support. We also have this same support line also turned into resistance here. We can notice that price broke through the support, came back up and tapped here, and this zone then served as resistance. All right, so those are just things we want to notice as we are taking a look at our charts. We can also see that this line could extend a little bit back here, and this is another time when this level of support, or this zone, was support, 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 and served as a floor until price broke through and came back up and tapped into it, and it became resistance. And one of the things that we're going to do is look for some clean zones. Zones, supply zones and demand zones that have not been tapped into yet. We want to find some zones that are pretty close to our current price action as well. All right, and one of the first zones that I noticed that hasn't been tapped into yet is this zone over here. And so what I'll do is go ahead and mark this supply zone. This was the last push up before an aggressive push down. And so I'll mark that as our 1-hour supply. All right, and so when price comes back up to this area, it's likely that we'll have a similar reaction. So what we're going to do is wait for price to come back up into the supply zone, the supply area, and continue downward. When price does reach this area again, we're not going to enter immediately. We're going to wait for a sell signal. So we've already established the idea that price is not going to be selling for long, probably because we've been in an uptrend on the higher time frame. So we know that this most likely is going to be a scalp. We want to keep in mind that trading is all about probabilities. So we're wondering what will probably happen next. Okay, and we know that these zones that have not been tapped into yet are high probability zones. So we know that this zone, since it hasn't been tapped into yet, is a high probability zone. So we'll go ahead and mark that. High probability zone. Does this mean that it's absolutely 100% going to tap in? We don't know. And we know just from our past experience from trading and taking the same trade over and over and over again, that many times when price comes back to an area that has gone down sharply like this from a supply area, that When price returns to the area, something similar happens. We have a similar reaction. And we don't know when this is going to come back up to the supply area, so we want to be ready for it. And so what I'll do is maybe go down to a 15-minute time frame and take a look. I can set an alert on TradingView. Just go over here to this price axis on the right-hand side until I see a plus sign, and click the plus sign and then create an alert. Okay, and then I will know when price reaches this area. Not to enter, but just to be ready, because we're looking for a specific pattern. We know that price has left the zone. It's come down. We're waiting for price to come back up and enter into the zone and then continue downward. All right, and so when price comes back up to the zone, we will be alerted. So that means you don't have to sit and watch the charts all the time. You can wait for your alerts to go off. When we do reach this high probability zone, we're going to be looking for a 3-bar reversal. And we're looking for a bearish 3-bar reversal. So we're going to have a strong push up. And we're looking for a candle of indecision. And then we're looking for a candle that shows us that there is a strong push down. Okay? And so that's what we're going to be keeping our eye out for when price gets back up here into this supply zone. And these places that we've marked as areas of support and resistance are the levels where we would take profit. Once it reached this first area of support, we would remove some of our profit. Okay? And we might want to target the next area of support that's down here. Remember that when we're trading, we're looking for opportunities to enter into the market. When our alert is triggered and we see our 3-bar reversal, then a high probability opportunity is being presented and we can take it from there. Practice it over and over and over again. We're ready for it and we can take it. And with proper risk management, we will be successful. And be sure to let us know in the comments if you've been using the 3-bar reversal strategy and how it is working for you. And let us know if you have any more questions or comments or what else you'd like to see covered on this channel. Trade mindfully.